I wrote a column today about the pain of, or the fear that I've had in my life. I have a son who's in prison. And where most people think, oh, poor woman. When he first got arrested, I almost shouted, thank you, Lord. Because prison was not going to be a good place, don't get me wrong. But I would not be one of those women that was going to have to plan her son's funeral. And he was running in a drug crowd that could have ended up that way. So I was just so grateful that he got arrested before anything worse could happen, okay? So I preface that with the fact that just this week in Baltimore, people started celebrating this black woman who cursed and slapped her son when she saw him, 16-year-old son, when she saw him throwing rocks at the police. And she grabbed him and made him go home and did everything, took him out of that environment and went home. And so many people, black and white, praised her, don't get me wrong, but so many said she was wrong. That she shouldn't have humiliated a 16-year-old male in public by cursing and hitting him. And there were some that said it makes us, you had violence on one hand, and all she did was perpetuate the violence by hitting the boy on the other hand. And I mean, it was, and a lot of this criticism was coming from black people, okay? So I wrote a column that came out today that basically said I knew exactly what that woman was feeling, and I probably would have done the same thing. You could then criticize me, you could talk about me, you could do whatever you want, but I would still be able to hug my son.
She was trying to save his life.
There have been black males running away from the police who have been shot in the back. Her son was throwing rocks at the police, people who have guns. What could have happened in that scenario? You can talk about my mothering all you want to after that, but I was going to be able to walk away with my son. That type of voice is what I put in the paper today, because I have experienced the fear of nightly not knowing if I was going to have to plan a funeral for my son.